The dynamics of politics anywhere in the world are always derived with political interest. There is a very few consideration of friendship or family. A good example is that in the Kenyan politics 2021, Moses Wetangula was in the Kenya Kwanza coalition, while his brother Tim Wanyonyi was in Azimio coalition and actually was even aspiring to be the governor of the Nairobi County. Ladies and gentlemen, this analysis we want to look into the political personnel of people who are going to betray their masters because of political dynamics ahead of the 2027 general election in Kenya. And without further ado, let's get into it. Number one figure we want to look into is the dynamics where Simba Arati, the governor of Kisii County, has found himself. Simba Arati has found himself in a situation where he is the deputy party chairman of ODM party, and he is the governor of Kisii County under the ODM ticket. He was brought up politically by Raila Amolo Odinga, all the way from Nairobi, being an MCA, rising up to be a member of parliament, going to Kisii and getting the gubernatorial seat with just one round of running. And Raila Odinga has really supported Simba Arati. But the dynamics of the Gusii region have changed ahead of the 2027 general election, and Simba Arati is left with no option other than to run for the second term under the Kisii party, that's the UPA party, that will be popular by 2027 in Gusii region, because that's the party the Kisii people are opting to. Number two, Simba Arati will have to ditch the Raila Odinga side and support their own Fred Okengo Matiangi, because that's where the interest of the Gusii region is. And there was a clear message in front of these two individuals when Raila Odinga was in the Gusii stadium that that's the true picture of the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, so our first figure is Simba Arati, who dynamics of politics have made him to betray his principle, a person who has really supported him in politics. And in 2027, he has to make that key decision, especially if Raila Odinga will go ahead to form a coalition with the UDA. Imagine a scenario where Simba Arati will be campaigning for Ruto in Kisii region, while Kisii will be having Matiangi. It will not totally work well with Simba Arati, and that's why he'll have to stand with Fred Matiangi, and else he will opt not to run for the second round in the gubernatorial race of Kisii region. Ladies and gentlemen, the number two persons we want to talk about is Babu Owino, the Embakasi East Member of Parliament. Babu Owino, the Embakasi Member East of Parliament, has found himself in a situation where he wants to run for the Nairobi gubernatorial race, and he knows very well that ODM will not give him that ticket. And I've always analyzed that reasons here, and the two major reasons is that Babu Owino is a young politician, according to a lot of people in the ODM or leaders in the ODM. There have been people like Tim Wanyonyi who have been aspiring for that ticket and they have not received it. So a lot of ODM leaders will consider Babu Owino young for that ticket. And number two, Raila Odinga has shown interest to support Sakaja, Johnson Sakaja, the candidate who is the governor in Nairobi right now. And I remember very well that if UDA will form a coalition with ODM, then it means automatically that Sakaja will get that ticket to run for the second round. So those are the reasons Babu Owino, as the situation Babu Owino has found himself. So Babu Owino will have to find his way out of ODM. In any case, he wants to run for the Nairobi gubernatorial race, either to run independently or to seek new supporters. And with the tribal arrangement in Nairobi, it's very difficult for you to win an election if you are running independent. And that's where Babu Owino will have to make that key decision whether you reach his principle, the man he says that he respects so much, Raila Odinga, and join the likes of RIGATHI, GACHAGUA, who will be, if they'll agree to support his ambition for the Nairobi gubernatorial race. So Babu Owino is the second casualties in terms of the political interest and in terms of the political dynamics that are happening ahead of the 2027 general election. And remember very well, Babu Owino has come out to clearly say that there is no possibility that he can support President Ruto. Actually, Babu Owino was not even in KICC during the signing of the memorandum of agreement between President Ruto and Raila Amolo Odinga. Ladies and gentlemen, the last person we want to talk about who has found himself in a situation where he must betray or must leave his principal or a person they have worked closely with is the Kiaru legislator, that's Ndindi Nyoro. Ndindi Nyoro has been a core person in the inner circle of President William Samoei Ruto. In 2022, Ndindi Nyoro was even perceived as one of the persons who could be given the ticket to run as a running mate for President Ruto. Actually, for those people who were there, they say that it was Kindiki, Ndindi Nyoro, and Rigathi Gachagua. So you can understand how Ndindi Nyoro has been close to President Ruto, and with the dynamics of politics right now, especially in the Mount Kenya region, where Ndindi Nyoro finds himself in a situation where the deputy president elected from Mount Kenya region, Rigathi Gachagua, has been impeached, and the ground has totally shifted in support of Rigathi Gachagua, and they totally rejected, they are totally rejecting President Ruto. If you have noted of recently, it's been quite a long period since President Ruto made a visit to Mount Kenya region like he used to make before 2022 general election. So Ndindi Nyoro must make that key decision, and he'll have to opt out not to support President Ruto re-election into presidential re-election in 2027. Number one reason is that because Ndindi Nyoro understands the ground, understands what is happening, understands how people feel about the presidency of President Ruto, especially when a lot of people from Mount Kenya region feel betrayed. Number two is that Ndindi Nyoro and Babu Owino, who have talked about, are young leaders who have political future. So any step they make, any move they make, they must protect their political future. These are people who can rise to presidential candidates in future. These are people who will be directing the decision of masses in future. So any slight mistake will jeopardize their political future. And that's why Ndindi Nyoro will have to make that key move not to support President Ruto come 2027. Actually, Ndindi Nyoro was not present in the impeachment of President Ruto. Ndindi Nyoro was not present in the KICC signing. And Ndindi Nyoro has gone silent for quite a period right now while he concentrates in the development of Kiaru constituency. And yesterday there was that parliament session where Honorable Junet Mohammed was claiming that Ndindi Nyoro was receiving more allocation or getting more funds, and that's why he has managed to do the development that he has done in Kiaru, because he was arguing that it's impossible for members of parliament to do such type of development with the little 100 million they are saving for the CDF. And it's good if Ndindi Nyoro got money, whichever means he got, if he allocated the money because he was in the parliamentary budget committee, if he allocated resources for the development of his constituency, so good. That's what people will expect from their leader in any position. As a regiment, these are the biggest casualties in political dynamics. You can tell me who you think is who is going to be a political casualty, who will have to betray his long-term friendship. And in this video, we have talked about Simba Arati betraying Raila Odinga in 2027 because of the fact that the Gusii region will be supporting Fred MATIANGI. We have talked about Babu Owino, who has been supporting Raila Odinga. But if Raila Odinga will form a coalition with UDA, and that's Ruto, Babu Owino will have to find a different path. And last we talked about Ndindi Nyoro, because of the aspect of the Mount Kenya region where the ground has totally shifted from President Ruto, who has been his long-term friend. Ndindi Nyoro must seek a different political path, and in 2027 he won't attempt to run under a UDA ticket in Kiaru constituency. That's why he'll have to align his way with the ways of Rigathi Gachagua or seek a different party for himself ahead of the 2027 general election. Others, ladies and gentlemen, that's but only my opinion. You can tell me what you think in the comment section. I'll take my humble time to read and give you a response. Stay safe whenever you are.